Hey there. I just wanted to take a moment to chat with you about something that's been on my mind, and I think it could be pretty enlightening for both of us. You know how we often go through life thinking that what's around us, the world as we see it, is just, well, the way it is, right? But, what if I told you that there's a lot more to this reality of ours than meets the eye? So, let's kick back for a second. Imagine we're just hanging out, two friends having a deep conversation. Imagine that reality isn't just this solid, unchangeable thing out there. Instead, think of it more like a canvas, yeah, like an artist's canvas, where every thought, every belief, and every dream we have is like a stroke of paint on that canvas. We've been taught to believe that reality is fixed, something that just is. But the truth is, it's more like a reflection, a projection of our collective consciousness. It's this wild blend of what we all collectively agree on and our own individual spins on things. It's a bit like when you're deep in a dream, and everything feels real, right? But then you wake up, and you realize you were the one creating those dream landscapes. That's kind of what we're doing here, in this thing we call life, constantly creating and recreating our reality without even realizing it. So, as we dive into this talk, let's keep our minds open. Let's explore how our perceptions color our world and how by shifting those perceptions, we might just be able to paint a reality that's more vibrant, more fulfilling, and yeah, more in tune with what makes us truly happy. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, let's dive into the heart of our conversation, the concept of the infinite now. Have you ever caught yourself thinking so much about the past or worrying about the future that you forget about the moment you're living in right now? It's like we're on autopilot, right? But here's a thought that might just change the game. What if I told you that the only real time is now, this very moment? The past is a memory, a story we tell ourselves, and the future, well, it's a canvas of imagination waiting to be painted. But the now, this is where life is happening. This is where we feel, where we act, where we truly live. It's the eternal present moment that holds the power to shape everything else. So what I'm suggesting is, let's bring our attention back to this infinite now. When we focus on the present, we're not just passers-by in our own story. We become the authors, the creators. Every decision, every breath, every smile, it's all happening now, and it's all that we can genuinely impact. And you know what's beautiful about this? When we focus on the now, we start to peel away the layers of stress and anxiety that come with trying to rewrite the past or script the future. We begin to realize that life isn't about waiting for storms to pass or hoping for better days ahead. It's about dancing in the rain that's fallen on us right here, right now. So, my friend, as we're talking, as you're listening, I invite you to embrace this moment. Take a deep breath, feel it, live it. Because this moment is your life, and it's infinitely now. Moving on, let's get a bit reflective and talk about the internal game of life. You know, it's easy to think of life like a board game, where we're just responding to moves and countermoves, with happiness seemingly placed on the squares we land on by chance. But what if we've got the game all wrong? What if, instead of looking outward, we start looking within? The truth is, the most profound journey you'll ever embark on is the journey inside yourself. This is where the real game is played, not out there. It's in the thoughts we think, the emotions we feel, and the beliefs we hold. Happiness isn't a trophy we win, it's an experience we create from within, regardless of the external scoreboard. When we shift our focus from external circumstances to internal states, we take the power back into our own hands. It's like being the captain of your ship in the middle of the ocean. Sure, you can't control the weather or the tides, but you can steer, you can adjust the sails, you can navigate. This perspective puts us in the driver's seat of our lives. It means that our state of mind isn't at the mercy of the world around us. Instead, it comes from a deeper place, a place that we have control over. It's about finding peace, joy, and contentment that doesn't waver in the face of life's ups and downs. So when you feel like happiness is elusive, remember that it's not hiding out there, it's waiting in here, in the heart and mind. It's not about changing the game, it's about realizing that the game changes when we do. When we nurture our inner world, the outer world seems to fall into place. And that's a game worth playing, don't you think? Now let's take a fascinating turn and touch upon something that might seem like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie: quantum mechanics. Bear with me, because this is where things get really intriguing. Quantum mechanics, this incredibly complex field of physics, has shown us something that's almost magical. Particles can exist in all possible states until they're observed. Only when we look, when we measure, do they choose a position, a reality. This has mind-bending implications for how we understand our world. Think about this in the context of our lives. If the act of observation can bring a defined state out of infinite possibilities at the quantum level, imagine what your focused attention can do to the reality around you. Your perspective, the way you choose to see your life, can quite literally influence your experience of it. It's like when you buy a new car, and suddenly, you start seeing that car everywhere. Those cars were always there, but your attention, your observation, has changed your perception of how many there are. Now apply this to your life. When you shift your focus, the things you pay attention to expand, and in a way, you bring them into existence in your own personal universe. So, as we journey through life, remember that your perspective is powerful. It can highlight the shadows or reveal the stars. By choosing where to direct it, you're not just a passive observer of your life, you're actively shaping it, selecting the reality you experience from the quantum field of possibilities. And that's a pretty empowering thought, isn't it? Alright, let's pivot to a super important topic that's close to my heart: personal development and the impact that starts from within. You see, there's this idea that before we can go out and change the world, before we can truly make a mark on others, we've got to start with ourselves. It's like trying to teach someone to swim when you're still figuring it out. You both might just end up treading water. So, think of it this way: our own personal development is the foundation for everything we do. It's like prepping the soil before you plant the seeds. If you're not growing, not evolving, not improving, how can you expect to help others do the same? This is about taking responsibility for your own journey first. It's about acknowledging that the most significant impact you can make starts with a single step, and that step is self-improvement. It's about recognizing that when you work on being the best version of yourself, you're setting up a ripple effect that can influence everyone around you. Now, this isn't about being self-centered. It's quite the opposite, actually. It's about being self-aware. When you understand yourself, when you're in tune with your own needs, strengths, and areas for growth, you naturally become more empathetic and effective in your interactions with others. And here's something we often overlook: the work we do on ourselves isn't just for us. It's for every person we come into contact with. By improving ourselves, we become a beacon of possibility for others. We become living proof that change is doable, that growth is achievable, and that having a positive impact starts with the person in the mirror. So, my message to you, my friend, is simple: invest in yourself. Cultivate your mind, take care of your body, nurture your spirit. The stronger you are on the inside, the more you'll have to offer to the world outside. Let's not wait for someone else to make the changes we wish to see. Let's be the change, one personal victory at a time. And remember, this isn't a solo trip. We're in this together. As we each work on our personal development, we're collectively upping the game, creating a more impactful community, a more conscious society. So what do you say? Ready to take this inward journey to outward impact? Let's roll into another cool aspect of this whole reality-shaping business. So we talked about consciousness, right? And how it's like the artist of our personal reality. Now, let's stir in a thought that might sound a bit out there, but stick with me. What if nothing in life truly matters except for the meaning we give it? Here's the liberating part: if our consciousness is the brush, and our beliefs are the colors, then we have the power to paint our lives with the hues of our own choosing. It's not the events themselves, but the meanings we attach to them that color our world. Take a second and imagine how freeing it would be to really understand that the value of everything in our life is a value we assign. The pressure of getting somewhere, of reaching some arbitrary benchmark of success, just falls away. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, the scenes we create, the experiences we savor, and the lessons we learn along the way. This isn't to say that goals aren't important, but it's the process of reaching them, the growth that happens, the joy we find even in the midst of challenges, that's the real treasure. It's about enjoying the strokes of the brush, the blending of colors, the emergence of the picture that is your life. So, when you find yourself stressing about outcomes or getting caught up in the shoulds and musts that society throws at us, take a step back. Remember, you're the artist here. Every moment is a fresh opportunity to ask, what meaning do I want to give this? And with each answer, you're shaping your reality. You're crafting a masterpiece not judged by its completion, but by the love, the intention, and the consciousness you pour into it. That's where the real magic happens. That's where life becomes not just something you live, but something you create. Alright, let's navigate into the realm of emotional management, and specifically, the energy we encounter and emit every day. You know how it is when you're around someone who's super excited and passionate. Their energy is infectious, right? But the same goes for the opposite. When someone's down, those vibes can be just as catching. Here's the scoop: it's crucial not to get sucked into negative energies. It's like walking through mud. The more you get into it, the harder it is to move forward. This doesn't mean ignoring people who are going through a tough time, but rather not allowing their emotional state to dictate yours. This ties into the whole like attracts like idea. If we dwell on negative feelings, if we marinate in the bad vibes, guess what? We're setting ourselves up to attract more of the same. It's like sending out an invitation to the universe saying, hey, more of this, please. And let's be honest, who wants an encore of a bad day? Instead, think about what you want to attract. If it's joy, peace, and positivity, then that's where you need to set your emotional compass. It's not about faking happiness or ignoring the real emotions. It's about choosing not to stay in the low points any longer than necessary. So, when you're feeling down or if you're around someone who's a bit of a downer, acknowledge those feelings, but don't unpack and live there. Visualize yourself as a ship sailing through a storm. You might get rocked by the waves, but you don't have to let them capsize you. Keep your focus on the clear skies ahead, because they're there, just beyond the horizon. And remember, energy is contagious. So as much as you're guarding against the negative, you're also a beacon for the positive. By maintaining your vibe, not only do you protect your own emotional state, but you might just be the lighthouse someone else needs to find their way out of the storm. Now let's dive into something that's both powerful and profound: collective belief and shared realities. This is all about the worlds we create together, the shared stage where our individual stories play out. Think about it, our beliefs, the ones we've grown up with, the ones we pick up along the way, they don't just float around in our own heads. They mingle, they mesh, and they morph with the beliefs of those around us, creating this collective reality. It's like we're all painting on a communal canvas, each adding our own brushstrokes to the bigger picture. So here's where the power of positive influences comes in. When you surround yourself with people who lift you up, who share your aspirations, who vibrate with positivity, you're not just benefiting from good company. You're actually in the midst of a reality-shaping powerhouse. It's like when you're with people who believe in possibility, in change, in growth, those beliefs start to rub off on you, and yours on them. Together, you reinforce a reality where potential is boundless, where challenges are just adventures in disguise, and where each person's success uplifts the whole group. And communities, man, they're the amplifiers of this effect. When you're part of a community that's aligned with your values, your dreams, your vibe, you're not just riding the wave, you're helping to create it. It's about finding your tribe, your squad, your collective, and then riding that wave together towards a shared vision of what's possible. So, as you navigate your path, pay attention to the energies you're mingling with. Seek out those spaces and faces that resonate with who you are and who you want to be. Because the truth is, we're all co-creators in this experience called life, and the company we keep has a massive say in the realities we collectively bring to life. Alright, let's chat about something supercharged with potential: the power of belief. It's like this unseen force that shapes everything in our lives, from what we think we can do, to what we end up actually doing. It's the silent narrator of our life story, whispering to us about what's possible and what's not. Here's the kicker, though: beliefs are not set in stone. They're more like clay, and we're the sculptors. When we choose to change our beliefs, we're not just tweaking our thoughts, we're transforming our reality. Think about a belief you've held for a long time. It's like an old tree, with roots deep in your mind. Changing that belief is like planting a new tree. At first, it's small, it's fragile, but given time and nurture, it grows, and it can become just as strong, if not stronger, than the old one. This is where your empowerment kicks in. When you start to question those old beliefs, when you dare to believe something new about yourself or the world, you're taking the reins of your life. You're saying, hey, I'm in charge here. I decide what's possible for me. And this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good talk. This is real power. It's the power to say, I used to believe I couldn't do this, but now I believe I can. It's the power to transform a can into I will. It's the power to look at an obstacle and see an opportunity. So think about what beliefs you're carrying around. Are they serving you? Are they lifting you up or weighing you down? Remember, you're the one calling the shots. You can choose beliefs that empower you, that align with the reality you want to experience. And when you do that, when you truly harness the power of belief, you'll be amazed at how reality bends to meet you. Your beliefs are the architects of your world. So, what do you want to build? Now, let's tackle something that's a bit of a tough nut to crack, changing those long-standing thought patterns. It's like trying to reroute a river. It's not going to happen overnight, and it definitely requires some effort, but it's absolutely possible. Changing thought patterns, especially the ones deeply ingrained in us, is a challenge. It's like they've carved out a familiar path in our minds, and stepping off that path can feel weird, uncomfortable, even scary. But here's the thing, just because a path is well trodden, it doesn't mean it's the right one. So, how do we do it? How do we forge new paths in our minds? Well, the key is to start small. It's about introducing new beliefs, new thoughts, little by little, giving them time to settle in, to start feeling like home. It's like planting seeds. You don't just chuck them in the ground and walk away. You nurture them, water them, give them sunlight, and over time, they grow. And, my friend, patience is your ally here. These new thought patterns might feel forced or artificial at first, like wearing a new pair of shoes that haven't been broken in yet. But the more you wear them, the more comfortable they become, until one day, they're your go-to pair. So give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. Celebrate the small victories, the tiny shifts in thinking. Each one is a step towards the new reality you're creating. Remember, the Grand Canyon wasn't formed in a day. It took time, water flowing a little differently, carving out new paths, creating something breathtakingly beautiful. And that's what you're doing with your thoughts. You're carving out new paths, creating a new landscape in your mind. And yes, it's hard work. But it's also some of the most rewarding work you'll ever do. Because on the other side of that effort is a new you, the you that thinks differently, that sees the world in a new light, that lives in a reality of your own making. So, embrace those new thought patterns. Work with them, play with them, let them evolve. The change might be gradual, but it will be enduring. And before you know it, you'll be living in a reality that once existed only in your dreams. As we wrap up our conversation, let's bring everything together with this final thought: conscious living in a co-created universe. This is where the magic really happens. It's about being awake, aware, and active in the creation of your own life, of our collective existence. Conscious living means being mindful of your thoughts, your choices, your actions. It's like being the director of your own movie. You get to call the shots, choose the script, and even pick the soundtrack. It's about taking that power of belief, that understanding of the present moment, and using it to actively shape your day, your year, your life. And remember, this isn't a solo performance. We're all in this together, co-creating this vast, beautiful universe. Every smile, every kind word, every positive action adds something wonderful to our collective reality. It's like we're all artists, collaboratively painting a masterpiece. So, I encourage you, my friend, to embrace this power. Start small if you need to, but start. Make conscious choices that align with the life you want. Surround yourself with people and environments that support your vision. Cultivate thoughts that empower you. And most importantly, take action. Dreams are beautiful, but it's action that turns them into reality. As you move forward, remember that every moment is an opportunity to make a choice that reflects the reality you desire. You have the power to craft your existence, to influence our shared universe in ways both big and small. So go out there and make it count. Live consciously, live fully, and let's co-create a world that we're all proud to be a part of. Remember, in this co-created universe, every thought, every belief, every action matters, including yours. As we close off our chat today, I want to leave you with a thought, a simple yet profound idea that I hope you'll carry with you, as you think, you are. These few words, they hold a universe of truth. They remind us that our thoughts are not just fleeting whispers in our minds, they are the architects of our reality. Every thought we entertain is like a brick in the foundation of our lives. When we choose thoughts that uplift, inspire, and empower us, we're building a reality that reflects those qualities. So, be mindful of the thoughts you nurture. Cultivate thoughts that align with the life you dream of, the person you aspire to be. Remember, in the garden of your mind, you get to choose what grows there. So, my friend, as we part ways for now, take this idea with you. Let it be a guiding light as you navigate the days ahead. As you think, you are. Let your thoughts be a source of strength, a wellspring of creativity, a catalyst for positive change in your life and in the world around you. You have the power to create a beautiful reality, one thought at a time. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Keep thinking those good thoughts, and watch the world transform around you.